Hello guys, happy Sunday. Welcome to our Sunday episode of our Daily Stock Market Insights. And we are going to cover the stocks you have requested in our YouTube and as well as in our Facebook page. And if this is your first time to watch our video, I'm inviting you to hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell as well so that you will be updated whenever we have new videos. Okay? And if you like it, go ahead and smash the like as well. Okay, in the meantime, these are your requests along with the trending stocks we had last Friday. Okay, let me just go ahead and talk about the index. Okay, so this is our index, and based on last Friday's performance, we're looking at this is for me a sign of weakness that this is bound to retrace or correct um, in the coming days. So chances are it will just retrace, and I feel that the retracement is not going to be that deep because most of the companies are now starting to open up and resume operations. So I feel that if it will retrace, it will only revisit your previous resistance, which is right at this level. Could be here or here. Let's do the weekly chart. Okay, so there's a possibility that it will just challenge your first would be your MA20 line. That's in a weekly chart because you had this, okay? And if it goes lower than that, then next stop would be around this level. Okay, so that's how you do it if your daily chart gets too noisy. So you go ahead and go to the weekly chart. Okay, so we are actually correct in this segment, but slight overshoot here, which is right at your MA20 line. So two areas to watch out for our index. Okay, so let us see how it pans out in the individual stocks that we have. Okay, by the way, the stocks in the index are just the 30 plus, 33, I think, major stocks in the country. And what we have here, I think GTCAP, GFC, MBT, SMC, those are the stocks part of the index. Okay, so let's start with CNPF. Okay, so CNPF, we managed to continue our uptrend here. However, we are very near our resistance. And just be extra careful because we might break this. And retrace, and probably it will challenge this area first. That's the next possible area where it would if this MA, because this is an MA20 line, right, and we're starting to become more constricted. The moment it crosses down the MA20 line, that's going to be a different story. We might have some more breakdown in the price. But let's see, because we're just sitting, and so far it is respecting your MA20 line, but just in case it dips, the next possible area that it will challenge would be 14.81. Let's check out east west. East west is just retesting, I think, because there was a gap up that happened here, so we have not actually filled that gap yet. So there is a big possibility that it will revisit your MA20 line. Okay, look at that. That used to be your support. There's a support here as well, so we managed to break out of that. So it's just retesting that support level. So it might do something like this and then continue the swing to the upside. FNI. FNI, nice recovery here. Okay, so far we're still at a cheap level if you're talking about investing in FNI. We're very near your MA20 line, and this is still considered a constricted Bollinger Band, and we're starting to trigger that. Now, just in case some people will be taking profit, just catch it right here, 0.81 level. Okay, just be patient, guys. Sometimes, well, it's a double-edged sword because sometimes it doesn't revisit that. But if you're more on the conservative side, you'd prefer to wait. You wait for your timing. Because within the day, sometimes people will take profit, revisits the previous support, and then carries on with the swing to the upside. Okay, so 0.81, which is very near the current price right now. IDC. IDC as well is revisiting. Sorry about that. I'm very near a window, that's why. Um, so it is retesting. Let's see if it will finally, once again touch this area, which is very near your MA20 line. That's 1.95 overall. You're at a very cheap level for this stock. And if you're thinking of investing here, I think anywhere from where it is at to 1.95 is an okay price. Okay. MBT. MBT as well managed to rally for so many days 7 days, 1 week straight. And right now it is just resting. And where could it possibly drop? So this was tested. Okay, it might retest this level. Let me just go to the weekly chart. Okay, nice bounce. I think this is a perfect time to you actually enter in this stock because if you're talking about long term, this is already the engulfing candlestick that we are waiting for. So if in case the market gives you a chance to haggle for a much lower price, um, don't expect for it to drop big time because I think in the coming days it will start rallying. It's just that in some of the days you'll see red because people are just taking profit. And so for now, 39 area would be our next possible drop in case it revisits that. But overall, I think this is already a perfect time to start accumulating for this stock. March, October, November, December, January, February, March. 5 months interval. March, April, May, June. Okay. So this gives out dividend as well. So if you have, let us say, you give out two times a year, so you have 2 pesos, right? Divided by 41 because there's that's 41 a share. So that's a 4.8% dividend. Your money gained just by putting it there, discounting the fact that if you entered it at a very uh, promising area, for example, you entered at a support and it moves the price higher, that's outside of the potential gain that you will get, right? Because you got it at a lower price, and if you sell it, then of course you already have a gain. The difference there is your gain. But if you want to let it stay there for a long time, and let's say use this as your retirement stock, uh, possible if we have the same flow of dividend release, um, most likely you'll be getting twice in a year, and then approximately no, not a dollar, but 1 peso. So that's already a 4.4% on average gain just for dividend alone. So that's another thing to also take a look at. FB. FB is also trying to rest, but overall you already have entered at still at a healthy level here. Yeah, you're still at a healthy level for this stock. If it will rest, most likely it'll drop up to the 64 area. That was your previous support there. I mean resistance here. There's a resistance right here, and we broke out of that resistance 2 days straight. We also climbed higher, so it's just resting. June 8. Oh, dividend play. So that means those people who are still planning to enter on the 8th, don't expect, because you're not included anymore if you're just after the dividend. Those people who may have entered before June 8th, and they still have stocks the first minute of the day by Monday, then they are included, but they can already exit anytime within the day on the 8th. So I feel like people will, because that's how it normally happens when you have the X date, people will exit. But if the stock is really an established stock, the dip is unnoticeable and it just carries on. VITA. VITA, okay, still strong. I think it'll continue to move higher, but in case this market gives us a chance right here, 0.85, that's already okay. You can add some more volume there. And for me, Vita on a personal note, is just for trading. But the position right now looks promising, and we feel that it will continue to move higher. 0.85 is already a good haggle for this price, or even much lower than that, 0.83. So anywhere from where it is at right now to 0.83, it's already a good price to enter. And then just wait for your profit taking area. Okay, there's a short-term resistance here. Sorry about that noise. Okay, so 0.87 is the short term. No, 0.91 is the short term resistance, because we saw this. Okay, CHIB. CHIB, see, um, if you're, this is what I was saying. People are taking profit, and it brings the price lower, and then it carries on with the rally to the upside. That's why you see a long wick here. But just in case this continues to dip, because this is actually a bearish candlestick, it could mean something like this. See that this is a bearish candlestick, and then it declined further. So I'd still want to stick to the previous support, which is around this area, 19.76. Overall, I feel that it will just move within that range before it moves higher. Okay, I think this one is already your bottom for CHIB. This is your bottom. Okay, so try to time, or monitor the stock on Monday, or any time you're ready, and make sure you enter at the area near your support. And the support that we have right now is 19.76 and 18.92. If it drops further down, right? SMC. SMC is starting to trigger a bullish movement here. It's a red day last Friday, but we're still outside of the Bollinger Band. That means the momentum is still there. Just be extra careful though. We're very near the overbought, so there might be some more movements going up. But your short-term resistance is just around the corner, which is 104.45. So if it gives us a chance very near your MA20, then go for it. 97 or 98 area would be a good time to buy some more. Okay, 0.35, January, February, March, April. I think this one has a regular release. Yeah, so if this will give you 0.35 times 4 times a year, that's 1.40 divided by 100. Let's say you enter at 98.3, that's 1.4%. Okay, not that promising compared to the other one we mentioned, MBT. Uh-huh. Maxes. Okay, Maxis is about to yeah, I think it will just stabilize here at the MA20 line. It's a red last Thursday and Friday, but we're still above the MA20 line, so we'll use MA20 still as our support area. So overall, yeah, good time to start accumulating here. 5.87 is the price. See that? Big potential. Big potential over here. MRSGI. MRSGI. Very, okay. Just be extra careful here because we're now triggering the MA20 line with price below that level. So we feel that it will revisit your previous support, which is right here. Okay, 1.50 area. Okay, to continue. So as we mentioned earlier, 1.50 is the next area that it will revisit and probably bounce there. We're looking at something like this as well. Okay, and then move higher. So you know what's not good about what I see here is that we have now, this is a lower high. So let's see what happens around this area. Otherwise, it might create a lower low. Something like this. Oops, hold on. Right, this area over here. And another one. Yeah. So let's remove this first. Okay. Do you see this? So this is your first area to test because you had your support there. So maybe it will just do a double bottom. And if that's the case, then good. But if it continues to drop lower than that, the next possible stop would be around this range over here. That's the trend line. It's going down at the moment. So just be extra careful there. Cebu Pacific. Okay, Cebu Pacific is trying to create a short-term resistance in this level. So this is your short-term resistance, a previous support that became a previous resistance that became a support, resistance here, it became a support, and now it might create a, it might challenge that first. If we are going to have some rejection, then just catch it around MA20 level because so far it is respecting that area. So 41.38 around that level. But I feel that with the more with the volume that we have here, we're still above the average. This cloud over here is the average line, so it's still picking up. The volume is still there, and if it retraces around that level, 41.39 to 42, that would be a good entry price. But so far, overall, we are starting to recover here for Cebu Pacific. ACEPH. Okay, this one. Let's go to the weekly chart. You have a short-term resistance at this level, 2.43. Okay, and use this as your support level, the MA20 line. Okay, there you have it. So let's see how it looks like now on a daily chart. Okay, so far that's a weekly, right? You had your resistance here, resistance that could become a support. But let us first check if your MA20 line and your daily chart will still be respected, 2.21. But if it breaks, then 2.12 would be the landing price. Otherwise, if it continues to rally to the upside, 2.44 would be our short-term resistance. And let us see, once it reaches up to this point, and let's say you still have the same outlook here in your RSI, that means you already have a declining momentum. Okay, again, if it touches your resistance, try to see how your RSI is forming. If you have the same pattern right here, then that will most likely be a sign that it will retrace again and revisit your previous support. Okay, for now, 2.21 is the nearest support. If it breaks down, 2.12 is the next one. GTCAP. GTCAP, okay, I think this is still at a healthy level, but people will just probably take profit and will give you a chance around 445 here. Around that area, 445.35. At the same time, June 2nd, but it's done. Okay, use that as your nearest support. But I feel strongly about this stock. Look at the volume, very huge volume over here for the past how many days. So the sentiment is bullish for this stock. Although you're already very near, you're still at the 60 plus level, but it can go outside of that. And there's still actually some wiggle room there with the right volume, so it will continue to move higher. That's what we feel. Just catch it at 445, because some will definitely take profit, especially for those people who may have entered here. They might start taking profit. Dito. Let's talk about Dito. Still loading. Okay. For Dito, I think this will most likely rest for a while. This is a sign of weakness paired by, for me, this is a bearish candlestick, and I think it's just fine. If it will retrace, the lowest it could get would be 2.35 at the moment, because this used to be a resistance. And I think that's good. That's a healthier approach, so that when it retraces, it's not that deep. So we slowly climb higher, retrace for a few days, and then pick up again another day. So that's what we see right now. It's taking its pace, good pace at the moment. 2.35 is the support that we see. Okay. Mac, transport company again. Yes. Okay, good entry. So Mac, put this on your watch list. We feel that it will continue to move higher. Hopefully it gives you guys a chance between 5.32 to 5.95. Otherwise, I feel that there is a big possibility of a gap up again for this stock. Like what happened to, I think that was Home. We talked about it, and it really managed to go in the direction we were anticipating. So for this stock, try to time the market and use a faster time frame. But overall, this is a good stock to enter on Monday. Okay, 515 million in foreign buying, 3,900, and yes, definitely one thing to look forward to on Monday. Right. See that? We look at the potential. We've been moving sideways overall for this stock, and there's a good volume here. Home. As for Home, I feel that the market will give you a chance at this level, and then it will continue to move higher. This used to be a resistance. I'm not saying that it will happen right away, but one of these days it will revisit this. But so far, we're still bullish for this stock. Just haggle between 6.18 to 7 when you enter in this particular stock. That's our support right now. Previous resistance will now become your support. MWIDE. MWIDE, yes, starting to trigger a breakout play here. This is the support that we see, the new support that we see at the moment, because you have your previous resistance right here, over here. Now, if it will go higher, the first area to challenge would be this range. And the reason why we said that is because of this. That there was some accumulation that happened there, rejection happened each time that price level gets hit. So I feel that it will continue higher, and if the volume starts to die down, but right now volume is still there, right? As you can see, it's way beyond your average volume here. So the cloud that you see, that's the average. So we're still high in that area. So I feel that if you enter in this stock, there's still a lot of potential for a gain. JFC. JFC was a red yesterday. That's a sign of weakness. Hopefully, if it dips, it will just stop right at the 121 level and then it continues to pick up. But two things can happen as well, because we're still sitting at the MA20 line. So that could be another trigger that this will still respect the MA20 line. Maybe it's just a uh, short term retracement. Okay, this one is respecting this line. So just in case it will dip, it will just dip up to this level, or this, or this. Okay, at least you know where it could potentially stop. But so far, it respected this line. There was a slight recovery when it reached this level. So, and then you also had foreign buying. So I'm thinking if it will go down, there's a big chance that it will manage to bounce at the 127.28 area before it goes higher. Okay, for us, we added some volume here. This is our long term, one of our long term stocks. Tech. For tech might revisit your previous support. Oh my, hopefully it doesn't break. But so far, that's the area to watch out for. Might revisit that 7.13 level, and then it continues to bounce. There's still foreign buying that happened, so I'm thinking it will just do a double bottom from this point to this point, just retesting your support, something like this, and then continue to move higher. Last would be VLL. VLL, nice. I see that it will most likely move some more to the upside for VLL, and use this as your support, your previous resistance over here, previous support. Then that will create a brand new support at that level. But overall, the sentiment is to the upside. Look at the volume today. I mean, last Friday there was good volume, so that means it's more sustained movement. Because one thing we need to avoid is when there's a sudden bounce in the price, but there's not much volume. That's not it will not be sustained if that's the case, because that means the price was just triggered by one or two individuals there. Let's see. Let's have a sample. And all stocks change. Sometimes that happens with. Um, Look at this. For example, this one. There are only two trades, right? No, almost no volume, but the jump is what, 14%. So the chances of it sustaining the movement going up is really slim, because this is just probably two individuals there. Okay, so if one sells its position, it goes back to this area again. So that's something you don't like. Another one here, 23%, but you see, there's no volume. So there were days that the price picked up so huge, but no volume to support. That's why it went up and down there. There you have it. Okay, so these are the stocks we have covered today. Thank you guys for watching. If this is your first time to watch, please hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're always updated whenever we have videos. Okay, in the meantime, enjoy your Sunday and looking forward for another profitable week next week. Okay, bye bye for now.